guys, welcome back to Junk Food Japan. I am Pettas. Today we're doing a Christmas Q&A. You guys have sent in a massive amount of questions and I'm excited to dive deep into everything. But before we get going, we need something to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-order some of this Kentucky Fried Chicken. All right then, while I'm waiting for the food, I thought that I'd get into the Christmas mood by setting up my Christmas tree. What is your nationality? I was born in Greece on a small island called Mykonos. My mom met a fantastic looking, handsome man, clearly my dad. They stayed and lived on Mykonos for a couple of years until, unfortunately, my dad passed away. And then, because my mother is Danish, I grew up in Denmark. What made you want to do karate? One day, I got my ass kicked in a street fight because I had insulted a younger gentleman a couple of years older than myself. And this was when I ran away, sprinted away. I was so scared. I've never fought ever in my life and did not know what was going on. But the guy ran up to me and kicked me in the head and tried to punch me. And it was just ballet chudo all over. And I just sprinted and got away. And I jumped over someone's fence and I was lying down there in someone's garden and hiding, you know, trying to make myself smaller. And my heart was pounding so hard. I was like that, scared the crap out of me, this whole situation. And as I laid there, I came to the conclusion that I needed to get strong and able to protect myself. So I was 14 years old at the time and I decided to join karate. Why did you come to Japan? So I was scared, decided to start karate when I was 14 years old. And I found my way to a dojo, by introduction from one of my brother's friends, Michael. And he also was kind enough to give me his old dogi. So I was all prepped up and ready to go. When I went and saw the dojo for the first time, my heart literally skipped a beat and just like, it was like falling in love at first sight. I knew exactly this was what I wanted to do. So I signed up, and this is way back in 1988. On January 11th, actually, I became an official member of the Kyokushinkai in Denmark, which is a big full contact style, karate style. So I started karate at 14 years old and I loved it, absolutely loved it. I was going to the dojo all the time and it kind of continued for a couple of years like that until a guy said to me from the dojo, says, "Hey, you're always at the dojo training and working out. You're like those Uchi in Japan." And I was like, "Excuse me, what's that?" Anyway, Oyama Sosai, he's the founder of Kyokushin and he's got these guys that live at the dojo for 1,000 years, only dedicating themselves to doing this. And no foreigner has ever completed that. So instantly, I went back to my mom and said, "Look, Mom, I gotta quit school and move to Japan and stay there for 3 years." And she was like, no. It took me a while. I got her convinced. And then when I turned 18, I quit school, high school, a year early, and I started up saving money by working in dojo in Denmark, and I saved up enough money to pay for myself and tuitions for the first year. And after that, my mom basically financially supported me through those first 3 years. I ended up becoming the second non-Japanese and also the last foreigner to ever graduate from the Uchi program, Sosai, because he passed away shortly after I graduated. And that's the reason why I came to Japan. Are your family in Japan? Well, clearly. I'm married, I live with my wife, and we've got 4 daughters together that are also all here in Japan. I also have an older brother that lives in Denmark, and then there's my wife's family, which is huge, but that story is for some other time. What made you start doing YouTube? Well, back in the day, 2010, I think, when YouTube first popped up, I thought this was a great way to do a vlog. So I started vlogging about just random things in my life, and I never watched it. When I restarted YouTube, is what I'd like to say, is just during COVID, while I had to do some online coaching classes, I had to do some I had to do some cooking food shows. Oh wow, that is really pretty. Nice. Anyway, I started YouTube again, rediscovering what exactly YouTube was all about. That you could follow people that you have interests in and you can look at niche markets. And there's something I've always loved to do, and that is food shows. So eventually I ended up here with Junk Food Japan. What was the first thing you ate when you came to Japan? I had ramen, miso ramen for the first time right out in Narita Airport. And I highly, highly do not recommend that. It was absolutely crap. But there's lots of ramens in the rest of Japan that you can go out and explore. And if you don't know where to go, check out some of the other Junk Food Japan videos because Paimen is my favorite one. What do people eat for Christmas in Japan? This. And in order to get into the proper mood for this, I think I'm gonna have to wear my Santa hat. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, before we start eating, young children out there, do not forget the traditional ITADAKIMASU! I've not had Kentucky Fried Chicken in over 30 years. I think I had it once in America, and that's about it. So I'm actually really intrigued by these deep fried, original, crispy pieces of chicken here. It looks to be completely battered in and then just dumped down in the deep fryer. It smells kind of nice. I'm just gonna take a bite and see what happens. Not bad. It's a little bit dry, this piece, to be honest. It's got some kind of original flavor to it. I probably would think that this is like the original Kentucky Fried Chicken kind of thing. It's really salty, like really salty. It's so salty I need to drink something straight away. What is your favorite food in Japan? I think my favorite, I'd like to say that it's sushi, just because it is so pure in taste, and like when you have good sushi, there's really no other substitute for it. What is your least favorite food in Japan? My least favorite food in Japan is actually something called ksaya. It gives me gag reflex from 4 meters away. If I walk even close to ksaya, I'm just like, no, thank you. Anyway, there is a chicken cheese filet burger here. If you just want to do a little deep dive into this one, it's got a lot of lettuce on it. It's got some, it's got some cheese in it, and it's got a chicken filet. And yeah, the bun is really soggy, to be honest. The only thing that saves this burger is actually that it's got a little bit of mayo on it, and some of the crispiness is still left from the chicken. Would you ever consider doing a series like Journey Across Japan? Junk Food Japan style wise? Absolutely. Actually, we're hoping to be able to do something similar like that in 2023. So stay tuned and set that reminder because we are coming back with some more travel stuff. What is the unhealthiest Japanese food that you can think of? I would have to go with ramen. Like, I just think that ramen bowls are so high in salt and sodium and everything that's in there. At the same time, they're super like nutritiously dense and stuff like that. The broth is absolutely amazing in a tonkotsu ramen. But every time I've eaten ramen, I always feel like I eat too much and I ask for extra noodles and everything. And it's just, I walk out of there and I think, wow, I'm never doing that again. But I love it. Hiroshima or Osaka style Okonomiyaki? Although I've been in Japan for more than 30 years, actually since 1991, I still don't understand the difference between Osaka and Hiroshima Okonomiyaki style. Maybe there's something I should go out there and investigate. Anyway, I think before we move on, I'm gonna try this pie here. I'm actually not a big pie fan, but I can tell you that all my British friends always rave about the pies. Probably not this pie, but the pies that you get in an English or British pub, where you can have like a meat pie, because I have no idea what this is. This is a white sauce-based chicken pie. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty yummy, the inside here. Out of all the dishes that I've tried so far, that was definitely the best one. What kind of foods do you eat with your wife? Well, we eat, generally speaking, 2 meals a day. So we skip breakfast, go to the gym, work out, come home. And then generally I'm on lunch duty. That means that we have some kind of protein with some kind of fat content. Not so many carbs there in our meals, actually. So we'll do like a piece of chicken, oven baked, then a bit of avocado, maybe some broccoli, something like that. Pretty simple stuff, keeping it healthy. Can you eat a Christmas tree? Absolutely, just not this one. I'm not even gonna try that. What food do you miss that you can't get in Japan? So I would say Danish bread and cheese, because it is just so delicious. They make these buns in Denmark that I could get at the bakeries with whole grains. So there's a bunch of mixed grains in there. You'll slice that in half, you'll butter it up, put some cheese, put anything on top of it that you like, and just make a really, really powerful sandwich. I truly miss that. What is your favorite food that isn't junk? I'm gonna have to go with sushi. There is just something completely mesmerizing about sushi for me that I think that I've learned how to appreciate now that I've gotten into my more mature years of life. You know, actually, to be completely brutally honest here, this is not really for me, but I've got a backup plan. Check this out. There you have it. This in Danish is called Flæskesteg. And I know that I've got a lot of friends in Denmark actually watching the show, so ja, god jul. Vi får lige lidt flæskesteg her på showet. Prøv lige at se, den ser god ud. Yeah, this is some good stuff. If I've done it right, and I think I have, it's gonna be a crunchy crunch at the top here of this pork belly. Oh. Good night! Do you follow current MMA? I don't actually follow MMA at this point. I've been focusing on my CrossFit business for the last 10 years. We're coming up on 2023 as the 10th year anniversary. And during those 10 years, I was single-mindedly just focused on the CrossFit business. But luckily for me, I now have enough time to do junkfoodjapan. And also, I started teaching martial arts again. So yeah, I'm slowly getting back into the groove of that. If you watch the K1 English commentating, you can also see me there because I'm doing those things. If you were in your prime, do you think you'd do well in modern MMA? Absolutely. My low kicks are probably recognized as some of the hardest in the industry ever. All you got to do is learn how to not get tackled, and yeah, I should be all right. Just taking advantage of some straight punches and stuff, and then yeah, working the ground game. What was your favorite fight day meal? My favorite fight day meal would probably be something that's super high in calories. I'd eat like pancakes with lots of cream and, you know, syrup and stuff on top of that. I'd have maybe a carbonara. But the thing is, for fight day, and that's a tricky one, because when you're super nervous, you can't really hold your food down, but you also have to eat. So during my years of training and fighting and stuff, I realized that if I woke up early enough and did some kind of workout before eating, I would be able to hold more food, digest it faster, and then also have more energy at the fight. Normally, that would mean that I only had that one meal, and then leading up to the fight, it would be just, you know, sipping on water and stuff like that. The reason for having just one meal on the actual fight day is because I wanted to be hungry walking into the fight so that I could like really like get into the mood of it. Can you do a video replicating the exact breakfast and dinner layout from your Uchi days? Yeah, that could probably be something we could look into. What is your go-to post-workout meal or snack? I would say this. My pork belly from Denmark, Flæskesteg. How was it training Chris? So we went to Los Angeles and did a chess boxing match with Chris abroad in Japan, and we won, thank God for that. It was very nerve-wracking. It was been a long story in its building and coming, actually. He's so busy, and also I've been busy traveling, so it was hard to like align our schedules. I'm gonna get into more details about it probably in another video at one point, but it was a pleasure. To make it a really short answer, it was a pleasure training someone who is an absolute beginner, has no clue of martial arts ever. He's never done anything in his whole life, and then being able to share my decades of experience with him was, yeah, really fun actually. Are there any other plans to do another Spartan race with Chris? Absolutely yes. Angela and I will be taking up a mountain, and if we can convince Connor and some of the other boys, we'll all go together in a Spartan race for sure. What is the best cheat meal for people working out? What is a cheat meal, really? It's just something that you love and enjoy. For me, it would be a jalapeno cheeseburger any day over anything else. Except, I love the ramen. I also love pizza. There's everything that I love about, you know, big meals, but I mean, there's really no rules when it comes to a cheat meal. Eat whatever you want. What type of junkfoodjapan helps with detoxing your stomach? I like to fast to detox, and I think it is the fastest way. That was a funny one. It is the fastest shortcut to detoxing is simply by emptying everything out from your stomach. A good 24-hour fast at least once a week, I would say, is probably gonna keep the doctor away. Good one, try it out if you like it or not. Where is the best konbini coffee? Well, the name says it itself. It's a konbini, so it has to be convenient for you to grab there. Randomly, on the way to the gym, my wife and I always grab coffee from Lawson's, but that's just because it's convenient. Although the coffees in Japan are absolutely amazing, and it's only like 100 yen, maybe it's like $1 over here for like a nice iced coffee, and the quality is really good. I gotta say, this coffee war between the convenience stores has been really good for us living here. Latte, no, let's not talk about that. I mean, milk, that's for babies, not for me. And now for the final, I have my mulled wine and my biscuit that I've been saving. Yes, it's got all the maple syrup all over it. Oh, this is gonna be so yummy. This is a Kentucky Fried Chicken biscuit, or AKA also known as a brick. The only thing that's good about this is actually the syrup on top. But yeah, if you like your biscuits, you should probably look elsewhere for them. But the wine, oh yeah. This is actually a very common tradition, also here in Japan, often found. They got the mulled wine with all the berries inside it. It's got some raisins, got a bit of cinnamon sticks, and it's very, very pleasing and very soothing, and it's very in the mood of Christmas. What inspired you to start Junk Food Japan? I used to host a show on NHK World called Imagination. Some of you guys actually know me from it. Thank you for supporting me on this channel also. But I feel like I wanted to have a show that I could identify myself with. During my own channel, I was experimenting with martial arts stuff, food stuff, just anything that was out there, snowboard trips and whatever. And I figured out that if we're gonna hone in on my skills, there's something that I'm really comfortable with and something that I actually also really enjoy, it would be food. And Junk Food Japan is a great stepping stone for me to go out there and explore more foods. I can't wait to go more places with you guys. Do you ever regret starting Junk Food Japan? No, I never regret starting Junk Food Japan. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for me to go out and explore my cheat meals, basically. I think everything in life is about balance. If you work out and have a healthy lifestyle generally, you should be able to eat whatever you want. Maybe not all the time, or at least in moderation would be nice, but I mean, come on. It also comes down to the real discussion, what really is Junk Food Japan about? And what is the junk food? I think junk food is something that equalizes when you overeat. If you eat just enough of it, that's not really junk at all. Will your wife appear on the channel? Absolutely. If she gets to pick the restaurant, she said she'd come on the show. And I think that could be really fun. Have you ever returned to the restaurants you feature? Absolutely. Actually, all the restaurants that we featured on the show up until now are places that I haven't been to often. Do you have any plans to travel to other countries? When you think about it, Junk Food Japan is, you know, as the channel says, Japan, but I mean, Junk Food Japan could go anywhere and explore and investigate food stories. If you guys help grow the channel so we get big enough that we can actually get a budget to go overseas, man, that would be a dream come true. But before we go overseas, maybe there's other places. I know the editors want to go down to Okinawa badly, so let's see what happens there. Do you think your editor could be nicer to you? Good one. Could he be nicer to me? He actually is nice to me. You should see the stuff that he does when you guys ain't watching. How long does it take to make a video? So the question is too vague to answer really briefly and shortly, but just think about it. There's all the planning, there's the meetings and talkings, then there's the reservations and making sure that the timing for the shoot works out. Then we've got 2 camera guys coming in and have to shoot. Their schedule has to align. Then there's the actually shooting, which is done in half a day or whatever. But then there's the editing, then there's the music, there's the animations. Wow, it's a lot of work. It could go from anything from a week to a whole month to make actually one of these shows. But as you can see, the quality is top-notch, and we're gonna stick with that But as you can see, the quality is top-notch, and we're gonna stick with that for the next... Shut up, Nick. Where do you see the future of the channel going? Oh man, next year we've got so many great things lined up. More collabs with familiar faces. They're already coming in. More food stories, basically. More traveling, more everything. Man, with the help of you guys, we're gonna grow this channel so that we can go all over the place, experience all the foods that are out there. And yeah, actually, you guys should leave a comment below. Ask a question. Where do you want me to go? What kind of foods do you want me to explore with? Who do you want me to collaborate with? You know, sometimes all you gotta do is ask, and then people come and join the channel. It's so awesome. I can't wait for next year. Man, there's some good stuff coming. Thank you for your support always. Thank you for all you fantastic comments. I read everything. I'm the one replying to everything. So if you have direct questions, feel free to drop me a line. Just really, thanks for the support in 2022 and 2023. We're gonna rock and roll this Junk Food Japan channel. And thank you for today, for the awesome time that we had. The Christmas tree is up. I got my hat on. Oh my God, I think this mulled wine is slowly getting to my head. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Music start!
Welcome to Junk Food Japan.
I'm Nicholas Pettas.
Itadakimasu! I'm gonna try and cut into this steak.
Woo! There you go.
I've got PTSD now.
Lake, nice and quiet. The sound of music in my mouth. The Parmesan cheese is just like.
Not my dish, it's me.
My mouth is still burning.
Woo! Hey, dude, you're spilling.
That's loud!
I feel like a bird eating this. Ohayou gozaimasu.
Legend, man.
I'm Nicholas Pettas.